Hey, what's up everybody? So if you're watching this, it means you are doing a recovery day or a recovery routine. So essentially the goal of this routine is to bring all your muscles through a full contractile range of motions, all your major muscles at least. And so everything I'm gonna be showing you, I'm not gonna be doing it for very long. I'll be doing for a few reps of each just to get you through the whole routine. But ideally you can do each of these movements for as long, as short as you want. Typically when I'm doing them seriously, I'm doing each muscle group for about 30 to 60 seconds. And essentially the idea is to start with your hands and work all the way down to your ankles, basically. So this is gonna help stimulate blood to muscle bellies to help with recovery on your off days, but also help with mobility to help you get that mind-muscle connection as well, so that when you're working out in the gym, you can contract the muscles you're trying to target and making sure you're recovering appropriately on your non-workout days. So with that being started, we're gonna start with your hands. So literally you're gonna put your hands to your side like this, fingers closed, and then really just trying to stretch your fingers all the way through. I know it feels a little silly, but you gotta take care of your hands, especially if you're lifting heavy. And then you do that for 30 to 60 seconds. And then we're gonna go to some pronation and supination. So pronation is when your hands are down. Supination is like you're holding a bowl of soup. So really we're targeting your wrist, your elbows a little bit, and you're just trying to hang out in that end range of motion for as long as you can, doing that for about 30 to 60 seconds. Once you've done that, we're gonna work on your biceps. And so you're trying to flex your bicep as hard as you can. And then we're going to work on your triceps. So trying to flex your triceps as hard as you can, words. So you do that a couple times and then just work on that range of motion, giving even a little bit more, raising your arms a little bit, pressing your arms back, trying to get that bicep and tricep through their full contractile range of motion, flexing as hard as you can, trying to build that mind-muscle connection, doing that for 30 to 60 seconds as always. And then from there, we can work on your shoulders. So the first thing we're gonna do is actually my scapula in the back. And so I'm trying to squeeze my shoulder blades together at the bottom, keep them squeezed, raise them up, press them forward so you feel a little stretch, and doing these rotations, trying to move my scapula around my rib cage. And then same thing, but other way, squeezing, stretching, scap rotations there, doing that for 30 to 60 seconds. Then you're gonna work on your GI joints, so arms out. And then we're gonna do supination and then pronation. So we're really trying to keep your shoulders down and back, working on just kind of that rotator cuff, the GI joint, whatever you wanna call it, getting through full range of motion. I sometimes like to put my arms like this to kind of feel a little bit more, trying to press the palms of my hand back and the back of my hands to the wall. And then from there, you can work on your chest. So on this one, we're trying to squeeze your chest as hard as you can, and then squeeze your shoulder blades together as hard as you can. Squeezing your chest as hard as you can. So really pretend that there's a pencil between your bicep and your chest and squeezing it. And then doing the same thing in your shoulder blades. Really trying to work on that mind-muscle connection, but also just getting some blood to your chest and your mid-back, upper mid-back. Good. And then from there, we're actually gonna do our back with a basic bird dog. So this is probably not terribly new to a lot of people, but you're going to get a balance and stretch until you feel that slight contraction, a little bit in your glute, a little bit in your back, working at that core, kind of working our way down the body to your back. Doing that for 30 to 60 seconds per side. Obviously you need to do the other side as well. I'm not gonna do the other side all the way. You get the idea. And then from there, we're gonna work our way down to our core. So I'm gonna go ahead and lay down. And this one's super important and it's something that a lot of people do often or are good at. So essentially what you're gonna do is you're going to flex your core as hard as you can, belly to your spine, flexing, flexing, flexing. It should be kind of hard to breathe. And then breathing out and flexing outwards. So you can kind of see my stomach going out and then going in. And I'm flexing as hard as I can every time, trying to get my core engaged, pressing out with my obliques as well, and even doing a little bit extra core contractions here, keeping your core stable, shoulders off the ground, doing some dead bugs here. Once again, just trying to get that core going, get blood to your core. This is not an ab workout. This is the activation recovery day, but it's good to get blood going to your core. From there, we're gonna work our way down to our glutes, doing a simple hip bridge here. So once again, working on mind-muscle connection, actively flexing your glutes and then coming down, getting that full range of motion of your glutes, and then coming down. You're gonna feel a little bit in your hamstrings maybe too. You're trying to flex your glutes as hard as you can, then come down. Once you do that, 30, 60 seconds, we're gonna work on your quads. So your quad activations. One leg goes straight, one leg stays bent. And then you're thinking of flexing your quad as hard as you can, keeping that leg straight until you feel that really hard stretch and you feel like you can't go anymore, then relax and repeat that movement. Flexing your quad as hard as you can. Repeating that for 30 to 60 seconds. Same thing on the other side, obviously. Like I said, I'm not gonna totally repeat it because you just saw it. Just because it feels good, I'm gonna keep doing it a little bit. Then we're gonna work on your hips. And so for hips, you're gonna put both legs out. First thing you're gonna do is just kind of drive your knee up as hard as you can, as far as you can, waking up that hip. This is great for squats and doing in between your squat warm-ups. And then from there, we're gonna work on a little bit of internal, external rotation for your hip socket. So trying to go out as far as you can, in as far as you can, making sure you keep this femur in the same spot. So your femur's not moving, it's just rotating. Obviously do the same thing with the other leg as well. Out as far as you can, in as far as you can. 30 to 60 seconds, or however long it feels good. And then from there, we're gonna work on your calves a little bit. So you're going to work on your anterior tibialis, it's here, flex it as hard as you can, and then flex your calves as hard as you can by pointing your toes. This is also working your ankles a little bit, but we're trying to just get blood pumping to our calves, flexing as hard as we can. Sometimes it helps, I'll lift one leg, do it kind of off the ground here, just so I can get blood pumping to my calf. It's again, the same thing on the other side. Trying to flex your calf, flex your anterior tibialis, then flex your calf. Easier said than done. You can always do this standing up as well. And then lastly, we're gonna take care of your ankles. So taking your ankles through full range of motion in both directions, nice and slow. And obviously doing the same thing on the other side. Essentially ankle rolls, right? Nothing crazy. We're just trying to get a full range of motion for your joints, for your muscles. And then after that, you can repeat it, you can stop, each movement for 30, 60 seconds. And yeah, do this on your recovery days, or you could literally do this every morning if you wanted to. Let me know if you have any questions.